Call her to order at 6 o'clock.
All right, tonight, no, I won't use my gavel yet. It's 6 o'clock, call the regular council meeting to order, December 3rd, 2025. See roll call, Councillor Thompson, Councillor Saunier, or Deputy Mayor Saunier is online. Everyone else is present. Declaration conflict of interest, if anyone has one, they can do so now. Seeing none. Addition, deletion, or approval of the agenda. There is one with the RCMP Q2 report of public safety to be added. And that was on the drive, right? That was
Yeah.
last meeting. To be added, if there's anything else. With that addition, I would be looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to move.
Second by Councillor Bent. Questions? None. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Double, keep looking up now at the screen to see hands. Approval of the minutes, regular council meeting, November 5th, 2025. Committee of the whole, November 19th, 2025, looking for a motion to move both those.
I move we approve the minutes, both minutes.
You want a second?
I'll second it.
Oh, okay. Councillor Thompson, Deputy Mayor Saunier. I know I was gonna write Deanna down, but questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Reminded, motion carried. Presentation to council. From the Sheriff Drive for Synergy, Brian is here tonight and he will give an annual review.
Just online, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Right up. Cool. All right. So, appreciate everybody for being here today, and it's going to talk about the annual review of the 5-year economic development plan. If you want to go to the second slide, Linda. So the reason why we're doing the annual review was more of a accountability mechanism, just to see where we are, if we're on track, if there's anything new that's coming up that we're focusing on. So it's just to keep us as Synergy accountable, to keep the council accountable as well in terms of what the priority is. Yeah, just for the year in general. So 2025 highlight. We've been working closely with partners at GNB and NB Power and other stakeholders on nuclear energy development, and some discussions around medical isotope production opportunity, which I'll get into a little bit later in the executive director report later on. Worked with securing regional support for the development of nuclear energy and medical isotope production. We're in the process of finishing up the residential and commercial incentive package for development here, so that's set to launch into the new year, hopefully. Developed a business directory for the municipality, and we are looking at exploring a tourism accommodation levy to invest in tourism related events and infrastructure, and still ongoing with that. Some good news this year is that New River Beach experienced about 9,300 people, campers coming to the municipality this year, 7,800 to LaPro Falls. And just with the 3-day event, the inaugural 3-day event, there's about 10 to 12,000 people that showed up to New River Beach. So it's a great event to bring people here to the community. And then we're also exploring next year for some possible in-kind sponsorships from local businesses for next year. So the park manager and I have discussed some of those and see what we can come up with there. We developed a business plan to try to bring back tourism back to Fundy Shores, and we're hoping for the 2027 season for that to happen. Worked with the YMCA to reestablish after-school care program at the school. And currently I'm going to start working on the feasibility and needs assessment for the Commerce Park. Want to go to the second here. So just an overall general for Fundy Shores, experienced 12 new residential unit builds and 5 commercial development with approximate construction value of about 5.75 million. And the community has experienced about a 0.9% tax-based growth. The community complex, while it's not a synergy-led initiative, it is something that's really important for the community, and it's been highlighted in the report. A lot of hard work that's going on with community members and the groups that are involved with that, and really what that will mean for economic development and for the community as a whole. I'm really excited to see where you guys go with this as well. Fundy Shores is in the process of developing a tourism strategy. They hosted a babysitter course to provide youth with their, potential first job experience and strengthen availability for responsible child care support in the community. Provided up to 100 radon gas tests to help detect radon gas and prevent adverse health effects. And completed a greenhouse gas study with recommendation to improve energy efficiency in municipally owned building, and met with the St. Andrews Wellness Center and the MB paramedics associated to explore community collaborative health-related collaboration. Some of the barriers and red tape that we've experienced this year, and this is part of our accountability mechanism, that we have identified a number of provincially owned lands and lands that are owned by Crown Corps and businesses as well. But in terms of working with provincial government, it's been a little difficult, I guess, in terms of trying to get some properties to develop, whether it be for residential, commercial. And we continue to, and we have submitted business plans for some of those properties, and continue to work with our provincial partners in Fredericton on those. And even for recreational growth as well. We have requested from the Department of Tourism, Heritage and Culture to exploring a pilot to permit quads to New River Beach. Unfortunately, the department wouldn't grant that request, and we're still going to advocate a little bit through other means to see what we can do there and cut some of that red tape. We have advocated for small craft harbors and the dredging at Dipper Harbor. I just got an email today that the department doesn't have any new money that was in the budget, so we're gonna continue to press the department for that much needed dredging at Dipper Harbor, and how important that is to the seafood sector and to fishermen in the region. And nuclear development, it's been a long, arduous process as well, and just a matter of the province, really including Fundy Shores into some decision making and putting it on a level playing field. But we continue to work with those partners in the provincial government and MB Power to really make Fundy Shores an attractive place to continue to grow that nuclear sector here. Go to the next slide. So the focus for next year, implementation of the commercial and residential incentive, multi-care strategy. So what this is healthcare, senior care, and long-term care, I guess, and childcare as well. So we're going to work on some strategies there. Medical isotopes, which I'll speak on later on in the meeting. And identifying some spots for digital infrastructure, as you know, that some places in the community where internet and cell service is really poor, so we're going to be pushing for more digital assets here in Fundy Shores, and the development of a tourism strategy implementations. And that's all, and I'm happy to take any questions or comments that you might have.
I'll start the screen sharing.
And wait for council. I did have a few questions, but I'll wait to see if anybody else has any first or. All right, the La Croix Falls numbers, where do they get those stats of 7,800 for the falls?
I can actually answer that. When I was down doing pictures for the strategy being presented later this evening, I found the counter that
Okay,
they use.
inside the.
Yeah, out to
Yeah,
one of it's for out to one of the lookouts. There's a like a laser beam counter. That when it's.
Oh, not the line one on the ground.
No,
Okay.
this one's a digital one instead.
Okay, perfect.
I didn't touch it, but I did. Just wanted to
Keep
say.
waving them.
I never thought of that, I should have.
5 or 6 times.
Well, they used to do that at the one that was on the road. They used to tell people, and they see that go down, start going back and forth with the built-in numbers.
No, this one was on one of the lookouts.
No, that's great, actually. That's a good thing. The health document Ryan spoke about, so I did send that off to the association. And they're reviewing it. I don't know if we'll hear back. I asked them to put a rush on it, but yeah, as you guys know, I ask everybody to put a rush on things, and that doesn't mean it's. So it went from the deputy registrar to the registrar. Now it's gone to their board, so. Yeah, they'll bring back any input that they have before we continue on, take it up to government. And I think that's all that I had. I don't know, really. Unless nobody else have any? No? Well. Was there anything else for the presentation or anything you were needing?
Nope.
All right,
For that.
moving on, that was. All right, business rising from the minutes, old business, financial. The 2026 Fundy Shores budget. So attached to tonight's agenda is a copy of the draft 2026 budget for the rural community of Fundy Shores, along with a budget comparison chart for 2024, 2025, and 2026. Did they read or not have the change?
The $1 change, no, I just found that out this
Okay.
evening when I was
So there
preparing the
was-
file.
Yeah, so there was a $1 change, so what you guys have on the warrant to be raised by local rate was $2,168,005 is now $2,168,006.
It was just to make sure that it balanced on all three platforms that I had to run it through.
Okay,
It was
Um,
68 cents and that's why.
and that had no other changes within it, so there's no changes to the tax rate, there's no changes to nothing else within the budget, it's just that $100.
That was very well done.
Okay. So, if everybody else has seen everything else within that, I don't feel there's a need for me to go through it unless you want me to. The biggest thing, I guess, the overall here is there's no tax rate change. So, we will need a motion to accept the 2026 budget with that dollar change.
And the
Aye.
motion is listed as in its entirety.
If somebody wants to make that motion.
I can read that. This is to certify that on the 3rd day of December 2025, the Council of the Local Government of the Rural Community of Fundy Shores resolved that the sum of $2,421,787 be the total operating budget of the local government. That the sum of $2,168,006 and $6 be the warrant of the local government of the ensuing year, and that the tax rates for the local government be listed above. The council orders and directs the levy of the minister of the local government of said amount on real property liable to taxation under the Assessment Act within the local government of the rural community of Fundy Shores. Adopted this 3rd day of December 2025 by the council of the local government of the rural community of Fundy Shores.
Thank you, so moved, I will need a seconder.
I'll second it.
Well, seconded by Councillor Deely. Questions on the motion?
No.
Seeing none, all those in favor,
Aye.
contrary minded? Motion carried. Perfect. And just for everybody's sake, that is our third and final budget of this council. Just for those out there watching. With no tax increases. Just to be clear.
That's a good thing.
7.2, capital investment plan, CCBF. Included in the agenda package is the capital investment plan for the Canada Community Building Fund 2024 to 2028. The document was presented at the Committee of the Whole meeting in November. If council wishes, they can approve the document as it stands, edit, or other. Council may also in the future change the plan to reflect the needs of the community at any given time, and there is a possible motion if council chooses.
Make a motion of the document entitled the Rural Community of Fundy Shores Capital Investment Plan for the Canada Community Building Fund, the CCBF 2024 to 2028 be adopted.
Okay. As read by Councilor Daly, I will need a second.
I'll second it.
Councilor Grant. Questions on the motion? Any feedback? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. 3, capital investment plan, capital renewal fund, GNB. Capital investment plan focusing on the capital renewal fund as provided by the province of New Brunswick is attached to tonight's agenda. Following discussions at November's Committee of the Whole, should council choose to adopt the document, the following motion will need to be made. And there's a possible motion attached if council chooses.
I'll make a motion that the document entitled the Rural Community of Fundy Shores 2026 to 2029 Capital Renewal Plan, the CRP for the Capital Renewal Funding CRF allocation be adopted.
Moved by Councilor Daly, seconded, I'm looking for a seconder.
Second.
Councilor Thompson. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. 4, Crown Land lease application, Cherry Tree, I guess that's what we have it labeled. Council was presented with the Cherry Tree Crown Land lease option during the October and November Committee of the Whole meeting. Since passing the budget and the capital investment plan, council, if this project is still acceptable, can opt to finalize the application and submit it to the Department of Natural Resources and Energy. And I would be looking for a motion on that, or council's wishes, I guess.
I would make the motion to, present the, finalized application to the Department of Natural Resources and Energy.
Okay. Second.
I'll
Councilor
second that.
Mayor Sonia. Just in the other box, that's right. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Sonia. All those in favor or questions on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. On to B. Tabled items. First one up was the Cup W Postal Service request. This item was tabled at November's council meeting. Council discussed the reviewed the request from Cup W during the Committee of the Whole and requested it be placed on the December tonight's agenda. And how so does council wish to move this? We send the letter, or we would need them a motion. Going once. Going twice. Nothing. We will remove that from the agenda. B2. Building bylaw. Alex Henderson, Planning Director for the Southwest Regional Service Commission, has provided final version of the proposed building bylaw that was presented at the November council meeting. If council wish, they can provide the first reading by title, following which CAO Sullivan Brown could share the bylaws to Fundy Shores website for notice and public consultation. And if council chooses, there's a possible motion attached.
Make a motion that be that the bylaw C4 2026, the building bylaw for the rural community of Fundy Shores be read by title for the first time. Title, bylaw number C-4-2026, being the building bylaw for the rural community of Fundy Shores.
I can second that.
Seconded by Councillor Bent. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Universal Building Fees Bylaw. Alex Henderson, Planning Director for the Southwest Regional Service Commission, has provided a final version of the proposed Universal Fees Bylaw, known now as Fees Bylaw, that was presented at the November council meeting. Should council wish, they can provide the first reading by title, following which CAO Sullivan Brown could share the bylaws to Fundy Shores website for notice and public consultation. Council wishes, there's a possible motion.
I'd make the motion. Be it that bylaw C3 2026, being the fees bylaw for the rural community of Fundy Shores, be read by title for the first time. The title, bylaw C3 2026, being the universal fees bylaw for the rural community of Fundy Shores.
Moved by Councillor Bent, seconded by Councillor Dealey. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Seeing none, motion carried. C other, JDI Woodlands Letter of Support Request. JDI Woodlands team provided a presentation to council at the November Committee of the Whole meeting. During this meeting, they requested council support their conservation plan for submission to the province. They also provided a draft letter. As council wishes, the letter can be sent as drafted, edited to better reflect the wishes of council or other. And what is the wish of council?
I move that the letter be sent as drafted, edited to better reflect the wishes of council.
Oh, I don't know.
Which one would you, just for clarity, do you just want to send it as drafted or do you want it changed?
No,
Yeah.
as drafted, I read it and it seems
Okay.
appropriate, so.
Okay. Moved by Councillor Thompson, seconded
I second the motion.
by Councillor Bent. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Very minded. Motion carried. Respectful workplace policy. Actually, I don't even think I went through that, you know, I didn't even really need a motion for the letter. But anyway, so. Respectful workplace policy. This item was presented originally to council at the October Committee of the Whole meeting at the time. At that time, it had been sent for legal review. Legal review was completed and the identified changes made. I would need a motion now to accept that policy.
I move to accept it.
Now, Deputy Mayor Saunier, seconded by
I'll
Councillor
second.
Daly. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Code of Conduct Bylaw update. With the implementation of the Local Governance Commission and regulation changes of the Local Governance Act, There were changes identified that should be made to the Code of Conduct bylaws established during the local government reform period. Attached to tonight's agenda is a copy of the proposed draft to repeal and replace the bylaw adopted by the transition facilitator. The new bylaw has had legal review and amendments made thereto, following the recommendations of the solicitor. Council can choose to bring the process for adoption if they wish, or make amendments and possible motion, or look from council.
Excuse me, I'll make a motion, be it that bylaw A-6-2026, being the council code of conduct bylaw for the rural community of Fundy Shores, be read by title for the first time. Title, a bylaw for the rural community of Fundy Shores respecting the code of conduct for council.
Moved by Councillor Deely, seconded by
I'll second.
Councillor Thompson. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Contrary minded, seeing none, motion carried. Remuneration bylaw. This bylaw was originally discussed with council during the budget process, with any changes coming into effect post 2026 local government elections. Council can choose to
I'm sorry, that's
yeah,
began.
it's
I've done that several times, I
to
noticed.
begin the adoption process if they wish, or make any amendments there too.
Possible motion, be it that the bylaw A-5-2026 being the remuneration bylaw for the rural community of Fundy Shores be read by title for the first time. Title, a bylaw respecting the remuneration of council for the rural community of Fundy Shores.
Moved by Councillor Bent, seconded by
Second.
Councillor Deely. Questions on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. Insurance proposals. In the final stages of insurance comparison, information will provide for the meeting. The outcome will not affect the 2026 operational budget. There was additions intact for 39,919. Marsh was 41,119. Recommended as they had higher coverage for the difference for 1274 difference.
Just give me a second, let me pull up my comparison document here. Just worried I got the names backwards. No, Marsh is correct. Marsh, although it's at $1,200 more, is my recommendation just based on the fact that they have some higher coverage options under that. $1,200 difference, so.
Mhm.
All right, so I would be looking for a motion to accept that proposal.
I move we accept that proposal. Oh, sorry, Heather.
That's okay.
Either
I
or,
was
whoever
putting my
wants it.
hand up.
Okay, so Deputy Mayor Saunier making the motion. And
I'll
second,
second it.
Councillor Thompson, questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Minded, motion carried. Community complex, no additional information has been received from engineering at this time. Should information become available, it will be shared ASAP. My only, question on concern on this is I would reach out to them. Instead of waiting for them to reach out to us and just say that we would like to have something.
Yes,
Mhm.
will do for sure. Today kind of got away from me. It was.
No, and that's okay. I don't, yeah. I would just, I don't know what they'll come back with what something is, but I just want to make sure that we're holding them to the fire to not drag it in. All right. General government. There was nothing other. General government reports. My report was submitted online. There is a couple things I do want to touch on. because I guess the last meeting we had was committee of the whole since Sue's service. So I just did want to thank everybody, that attended Sue's, service, and again, I guess it's been a tough year that way, seems like longer, but it's, she was a big part of this council, and as we're ending council now and going into an election in the next 2 or 3 months, I guess. Certainly she's been missed around this table, and I know Greg was very appreciative of everybody that came out and the support that Fundy Shores as a council or us as staff and council have shown to Sue and the things that have transpired in the last few months. So I certainly appreciate it. It's certainly not something that when I ran or became mayor that I thought I would have to do, and it was not. I was honored and privileged to be able to speak at her service, but again, I was hoping never to have to, but. Anyway, that's, I just wanted to make sure that we did acknowledge her and the work that she's put in her time that she was here. Also, I don't know, and it might have been was it in the bylaw that I spoke about earlier? It might have been in there, maybe I passed it about I think it was on the remuneration. And it's probably too late for me to change that now.
No, there's, anything can be changed up until the third and final reading, as long as it's not a substantial change or substantial change.
Because I think when it came to the meetings and attendance, maybe I didn't send it out properly during the email back and forth. Is my fear is, and I guess I will use mayor just because it did happen to me during this term, is if a mayor is called out to another meeting and say the deputy mayor has to chair 2, maybe 3 meetings in a year, and the mayor's not here, then that's going to be held against that person for missing meetings, the way it was worded, if I'm correct, in the remuneration bylaw. And that could happen to a councillor as well. A councillor may have to recuse themselves from council because they're doing another meeting on behalf of council, and I don't feel that they should be penalized within the remuneration of not being here. Same with sickness. I think there are certain things that I mean, I appreciate Heather for being online. You're on vacation on away, and you're making the effort, and I think to that extent, if the effort's made, or I just don't think. I think there should be some better terminology in there for council to have some discretion of if people can't make it to a meeting.
I thought it was a large.
It's council bylaw. Feel free to tell me what you would like for it to say, and I can offer a few recommendations and present them. Send them out in an email if you'd like. I'm just getting a pen to write that down.
Yeah, and I don't want to, I think overall it was really good. I just don't want future councils. I think a council as a whole could make like if the mayor or councillor doesn't show up for 3 meetings in a row and it's got nothing, they just don't want to be here, then I think council should have that option, make that decision to say.
Should it maybe say unless excused? Like, should council during, and I'm just asking for clarification. Should maybe during the attendance portion of the council meeting say, we recognize that councillor so-and-so is. Or whomever on council is out attending another meeting on behalf of the community and therefore is unable to attend. With that, I'm just asking for clarification if that's how you'd like it worded, or do you just want it left blank on the matter? Or would you rather just say? I don't know. Because I know council had said that they wanted something in there to ensure participation in meetings.
And I think there should be, I think every effort should be made. And now I'm trying to look ahead to May and we're not in this seat. I know if I was here at a meeting sitting there and the mayor or councillor that I elected is never here, then I would be upset to say. But if I knew that, well, why has the mayor not been here for the last 3 meetings? Well, because he's got the deputy mayor filling in because he's at a budget vote for the RSC, or he's on a trip to Moncton to support nuclear infrastructure or whatever. I just think that has to be taken into account.
Into account, yeah.
As an acceptable absence.
My only, if we would have to define what would be acceptable, maybe, and maybe just say that, like, acceptable absence is considered X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
Meetings, other meetings on behalf of the municipality,
Intensive care for 3 months, you know.
you know,
But that's what I mean, it's not your fault if you're just, and I know some of the. I won't say problems, but some of the things that have happened around the province, I can understand why some of this needs to be in place. But at the end of the day, to Councillor Ben's point, if you're legitimately out sick, you were elected to be here, but if you're out sick, it's no fault of your own, should you lose some of your remuneration, your pay because of that? I don't.
I think if we put acceptably, unless excuse / acceptable absences. Because an excuse would be a motion of council to say, we understand Councillor so-and-so is sick and is expected to be out of office for this length of time. Or unable to attend, even virtually.
Right, and I think if they make every effort, Councillor or Deputy Mayor Sonia, for an example, tonight is making the effort, if she got cut off 10 minutes. Into the meeting and couldn't do it, like, I don't think she should be held. Right, I mean, she's on vacation and she's making the attempt, and again, if I look at this year, we've had an instance or instances where. I think council would have probably agreed to say, you know, there should be no,
Let me try to work something out in
that's all, I
on
just,
paper and I'll send it,
Yeah.
I'll send it out to council.
yeah,
Acceptable absence deemed acceptable by council. You know, by vote of council.
And hopefully, like, I can get whatever change. Hopefully acceptable to council before the next reading, which would be in January.
and that's why I wanted to do, yeah, before the reading, and again, I understand that, and I think that's why it has to be a council decision, if council. The next council, the council doesn't show up for 3 months, and I think it's the will of the council at the time to say, well. Action needs to be taken. because
yeah,
they do have
something
to do
says acceptable absence.
I think. Part of the goal is to not put that burden on council to have to say that. You know, X certain councillor wasn't here just because they didn't, want to be, make it more just so black and white, cut and dry. But I'll try to find a delicate way to word that it still puts. The onus on the people to be here and takes the stress off of council of having to. Like,
Cause I hate
Dictate
saying,
that?
I hate saying the mayor, because, and I'm just using my example in this 3 years, there was a couple times where Sue. Did have to fill in because I was either at an RSC vote for budget or,
working.
yeah, right, there's something came up that I couldn't.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying just for me, but for the next council or mayor, it would be, if it's a legitimate reason, but. I do
Yeah.
understand that some mayors are going to be like, well, it's just my 2 days and I'm just not gonna be here. I get it. I think that was it. I will save all the Merry Christmas acknowledgements for the end, maybe, and since this was our last meeting. And that was it. The rest of my stuff was online. If anybody had any questions for it. If not, I'll go to council's reports. Deputy Mayor Sonia,
Submitted online.
okay? Anybody have questions? Okay, Councilor Bent,
Submitted online.
any questions? Councilor Deely,
My report was submitted online and I just kind of wanted to bring up the fact that our Christmas bingo is coming up on Friday, December the 12th. Anybody 19 and over is welcome to attend. And December 13th is going to be the breakfast with Santa, starting at 8 a.m. So it's between 8 and 11. And you have to pre-register your child if they're expecting a gift from Santa. And we will also be having childcare from 11 until 4. And you have to register for that as well.
is that the same as last year over here, right?
It's going to be at the fire hall. The childcare will be at the fire hall.
Okay,
More space.
My reports were submitted online as well.
Good.
There wasn't are we doing both? The prac, there was actually no committee meeting this time, but it was a training session. And they introduced the new Green Shores program. That's something new that has come about that Judy Harford took part in, so.
Perfect. Any questions for Lorraine or Councillor Thompson? Seeing none. CAO report
Was submitted online.
online, and I would need a motion to move that report.
Make a motion to, accept the report.
Now, second motion.
Second it, moved and seconded, questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, contrary minded? Motion carried. Planning Director's report, there was no report submitted. No, why? Or this wasn't submitted.
It was submitted. Usually December, I don't get anything.
Public Safety Fire Department was submitted online. And a motion for those? All of them then? We'll need a motion for the RCMP or the fire department report.
You won't need one for the RCMP,
Yeah,
I
it's-
just apologize, but
Okay,
the fire department, yes.
No. okay.
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
I'll
Seconded.
second it.
Deputy Mayor Saunier. Questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor,
I,
reminded, motion carried. The RCMP report, both, there was two, wasn't there?
Yes.
Yes.
The annual.
Annex two.
Yeah.
Reports were submitted online. Don't need a motion for those, right?
No.
Okay. Economic Development Synergy was submitted online. I'll need a motion to move that report.
Just,
Oh.
I had a couple of things to that. Just as a general discussion, I guess, on one item is on the medical isotopes. We have been we had a really great presentation from the University of New Brunswick on production of medical isotopes and you know, really life-saving technology and medicine to treat cancer patients. And it's a really unique opportunity to complement the nuclear industry here in Fundy Shores. So we've been having some general conversations about how we can bring that here, what kind of you know, who would be the vendor, I guess. We're into conversation with a couple of companies in particular. I'm not going to get into details about proprietary, but there's a really big opportunity for this municipality, not just here, but across the region. And we're in conversations with other municipalities as well as a southern region to really take home on this and a really big game-changing industry for New Brunswick and southern New Brunswick as well. So I don't know, Mayor, if you want to add anything to that, but it's really exciting.
Yeah, I won't get into a lot, not because I don't want to, it's just because I don't want to. I think some of it could be a closed session at some point, but definitely as soon as we get all the information compiled and make sure we're going down the right path, council for sure will be updated. That was in my meeting this morning, I made that clear to some of the board and to Synergy and that we have to make sure we get everything. I guess there's a lot of work being done and I appreciate the board for Synergy and Brian's work on it, as well as Trevor Holder's work. He's really put a timeline on this we've narrowed it down to January 15th. So we're willing to work throughout the holidays, take phone calls, messages. We've got I know Trevor's been in multiple meetings with various groups within not only Southwest New Brunswick, but St. John, Hampton. So I think there's a lot more to come and it is going to be a really great opportunity. There's, from what we've seen and what I've seen in the presentation, a strong business case here for it. So, yeah, so as soon as we get all the i's and t's dotted and crossed, definitely council and I would like to have economic development committee maybe all brought in to try to see where we're going. But yeah, no, I appreciate the work and things kind of picked up fast on it over the past week, maybe. They really, it went from something they thought about to something that really could happen with if the right pieces fall together. So yeah, there's,
Any-
unless council has anything that they would like to know or add to it.
Make a motion, thanks. Estimate.
And second it. Mr. Bell, questions on the motion? Hearing no questions, all those in favor, contrary minded, motion carried. Standing committee reports, was there any for community and economic empowerment committee?
No update.
David one, safe community. The only thing I would say, we haven't had a meeting, but I would assume one will come early in the new year because of the whole fire prevention. That I know there was progress being made on that through the RSC.
Oh, the
program.
wildfires, yeah.
And I know we're meeting next week, so.
They've asked for documentation back from us.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll have something on that by the end of the year. Recreation Destination Committee, report it, okay. Correspondence received, correspondence issued, letters to, Opportunities New Brunswick. It's one that we sent. And that was attached, everybody's seen that, okay? Approval of payments, general government invoices, only the motion to carry, to move that.
I'll make a motion to approve the general government invoices as outlined.
Moved by Councillor Bent, seconded by
Second.
Councillor Dealey. Questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, contrary minded? Motion carried. Expense report for November 25th, 2025. Look for a motion to accept that report, remove it.
I move we accept the expense report for November 2025.
Moved by Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Dealey. Questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Contrary minded?
No,
Okay, relate, just see your thing
Yeah.
right up there. Motion carried. 13, new business, year-end transfers. Annually, council designates funds to be transferred to the capital and operational reserve as part of the budget process. Lower the two original transfers as indicated by council in the 2025 operating budget, followed by additional transfers due to operational surplus. 13A1, scheduled transfers, I will need a motion. And the two are listed there, one for operational reserve of $20,000 from the general operating fund to the general operating reserve fund. And the capital reserve fund, $100,000 from the general operating fund to capital.
Make them separately.
yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be resolved to transfer 20,000 from the general operating fund to the general operating reserve fund.
Okay. Moved by Councillor Bent, seconded by
I'll second it.
Deputy Mayor Sonne. Questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carries. And I'll need one for the capital reserve.
Be it resolved that the transfer of 100,000 from the general operating fund to the capital reserve fund.
Moved by Councillor Dealey, seconded by Councillor
second.
Bent. Questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Additional transfers, there's the information.
Yes, did everybody see that? No? Okay, I will share my screen. I hope I have it pulled up in my files here. Of course not. Just give me 1 second to find it. Ah, there it is. Okay. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
I can see it.
Can't read it, but I can
That's
see it.
good.
I can see it, but I can't read it.
Well, I kind of don't know what to do to fix that in this mode. Oh, wait, look here. Oh, it just doesn't do it. Oh, goodness.
7%.
700, that's helpful. Is that better?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, I'll just do some brief explanation. As you can see, there is an approximate surplus at year end. So that leaves room for additional transfers to happen and still leave, hopefully, with surplus for the second previous year. So this will come into effect in 2027. So I wanted to make the recommendations very particular to areas that we've saved money. And that way, we're just looking at those snapshots and letting the other funds kind of take care of any surplus deficit situations we're having in individual line items. So we were able to save $15,000 in external accounting services this year. Over the 3 functions that we do that are external, and one is our accounting software. The second one is our quarterly review we have done by an external body, and then our annual review that we have done. So it was right around 14,000, so I just upped it to 15,000 just for, because we could, I guess. So so it's to recognize the savings in general government, particularly in external accounting services, and then there's a motion. I'll go on to just explain the second one. This $30,000 savings was found in environmental health services, which was solid waste collection and disposal. So we were still coming down from our previous contract, trying to make sure that from when we first started, that really, really expensive contract down to what we have now, plus our solid waste disposal costs. This is the first year that we had both former LSDs being collected into one. So it just showed some savings there from what we had predicted the expenses would be for this year. The third one, recreation and cultural services, we saved approximately $11,000 from the after we completed the swing set installation. And that money could be transferred to capital reserve as well. In fiscal services, we saved on the capital projects. As you can see, pretty significantly, actually. One is the business park study that hasn't been executed yet. We were just received the funding and go ahead this month. So we won't have all that expense yet. And the other part of it is related to the community complex. So we could save $90,000 overall. And a question that might be asked is, why aren't we transferring this to operational reserve? Because these are operational funds. And the reason for that is because our operational reserve is full of what we're allowed to have. We're only allowed to have 5% of our operational budget into the operating reserve. I would like to see the province move that figure up, but we're just not there yet. So any extra funding we have needs to be transferred into capital reserves or left for 2 years for.
So the overall savings this year was $146,000.
yes,
No, that's really good.
on top of the other
Right.
100 and.
Wow.
Just for people that are watching, just so they know that that's this year's savings.
Yeah, that's in, in addition to.
Yep.
And I will say on some of like the community complex and the business park study, we were able to get some funding from RDC to help us with those, so that lessened the burden on us as a municipality, so.
Section.
And the thing, I don't know, it's,
What do you?
just not a recommendation, but what I would like to see at some point is some of the monies moved into a different account or like a tax-free savings account or something, whatever's,
Normal for,
yeah. I would just like to see, instead of a big bulk of money sitting somewhere and we're making very little, that I'd like to see, but it can be up to council, but.
I can reach out to the investing branch for our bank to see what they can offer us. I know our stuff has to be very, very well protected and none of the principal can be touched, but interest and things can be looked at, so I will get a hold of them in the new year to ask them to come to a presentation to council.
Yeah.
Anything else? Everybody good? I
Need
need a motion to accept that.
I like the motion, so it's submitted. Are we reading them all?
No, I respect, I underlined it so everybody knew, but.
They're all, and
if-
they're all down the bottom, or no, I can't read it.
Yeah,
They're all,
they
they're all
are.
listening.
But if council wants to do it as a bulk transfer, that's fine. I just wanted to identify them separately for conversation purposes at least.
I can't accept them, so-
I think you already
Yeah,
did,
if you
I
want to
think,
do a
didn't
bulk
you?
one.
Oh,
No, I think you were wondering if you,
oh.
If
my
I had
apologies.
to.
yeah,
Separately.
I do a bulk one.
Doable. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna make a motion. I'm gonna change my motion to make it like a bulk movement.
Okay.
$146,000.
So moved by Councillor Daly,
I'll second the motion.
I'll
seconded by
second.
Councillor Bent. Questions on the motion? Oh, there. Questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor,
Aye.
contrary minded. Motion carried. Tourism proposal, La Pro Falls. Council can find attached to tonight's agenda a copy of the draft tourism proposal for the La Pro Falls area. The report includes a high overview of the current trail system and other infrastructure with potential investment opportunities for green space development. Council need to decide if they wish to move this project forward to the Department of Tourism, Heritage and Culture. Current park lands owned by THC, as well as the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, property adjoining La Pro Cemetery owned by DTI. And what's council's wish?
Make a motion to, sorry. Off my train. Make a motion to send a draft proposal.
Motion
Move the project forward
Yeah,
to the Department
move.
of Tourism.
Move
moved
this
by
project
Councillor Daly, seconded by
I'll second it.
Councillor Thompson. Questions on the motion?
Not so much a question, but I really enjoyed the presentation that was submitted with that. And it was, it's sad to see the condition that it's
Hmm.
being left in currently, so it would be nice to be able to do something and make that viable for people in the community to use.
I wholeheartedly agree. Very well done.
I think there's a lot of potential in that
Big time.
whole region and seeing that with the community complex, Cherry Tree, if we could get everything all synchronized, I think we're on the right track.
Yeah.
Perfect. Questions on the any further questions on the motion?
I'm just really glad that nobody else was there that day.
Thank you for that. Oh, I got you. It's all good.
It was a
It'll be in
rough
my,
adventure.
it'll be in my book post election. Working this on. Any, move seconded, no more questions?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried, closed, there's no closed. Next meetings, committee of the whole, if needed, is still scheduled for December 17th, 6 P.M. at the community building. Next regular council meeting will be January 14th, 2026.
Oh. It has begun.
6 P.M. And this was moved to accommodate staff vacations. And on that note, announcements, if anybody has any, I do want to wish everybody a safe and happy holiday season, and thank you all for a great year. And I guess we've still got a 3.5, 4 months left in our term, but I am overly excited and happy for the term that we had, and I think depending on who's staying, who's going, but I think we built a strong foundation here for the next council, whoever it may be. And thank you all for the work that you've done over, especially this year. I know it's been busy, and we see a few things on the go here that I think is going to be exciting in the coming few months for sure, and probably the next year is if we get some movement on things from government, it's gonna be some exciting things happening. So certainly appreciate all your work and hope you had a great holiday. If anybody has
Thank you.
anything else they would like to add? Thank you to staff, Jill, that came on board at the.
Kicked
We're
off
good.
10 years.
Can I adjourn now, or look for a motion to
There
adjourn?
you go. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded
Second.
by Council Dilly. Questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.